I think they're big, strong. Obviously, point of attack, extremely strong. We got to do a nice job of finding different ways to get some different angles on their D-line, and also, figure out different ways to where we can be productive in the run game. And obviously, big guys like that, they're extremely strong. They are athletic. Probably a little bit stronger than some of the other teams we've played so far.
I guess what are the keys to maybe establishing that run game? I know Coach Wilson talked just about doing a better job of that against, as you call it, a more physical team. What is it as simple as just basically trying to out-execute that physicality, or do you have to get more creative?
Well, I think you have to get creative, and I think you have to mix up your angles a little bit with our line. Whether we're doubling at the point of attack, maybe changing up some angles with some different down blocks and different schemes in that area. So we got to do a good job of helping our line, find the best scheme to mix it up. We can't just, I don't think, just lining up and running just straight inside zone all game is going to be the answer. Obviously, we got to get them on their toes a little bit with some different angles. We got to do a good job when it presents ourselves with our tempo, not letting them, dig their cleats in the ground and firing off on the football. But the biggest thing is we got to do a great job this week working our base fundamentals and putting an emphasis on that and going back to putting an emphasis on the run game and different ways we can attack their schemes.
Well, it looked like Missouri's defensive line suspended and gave plenty of problems in that regard. What was the issue there? What have you tried to do to address that?
Yeah, I thought Missouri did a great job. Obviously, with all the different stunts and movements they played up front, but more importantly, I felt like I knew going into the week their D-line was extremely good. They had some really athletic guys. Quick off the ball, their first step was extremely good, and we didn't handle it very well. Didn't handle it very well as coaches or as players, and we got to put those guys in a better situation at times. So, again, that's on me, and the biggest thing is we have to do is go back and figure out different ways that we can help those guys out, but at the same time, really stressing it and working on it, because we're going to see a lot of movements. We've seen it in the past. That's how people try to, whether they're pass rushing and then they know that they can stunt, slant, and twist up our run game a little bit, confuses some of the reads. So we've worked on that, and we got to do a better job of that, and we just got to continue to progress. A lot of kind of some different guys have been in there working together. Didn't think it was as big as a problem, but again, they still have to come together, work together, get comfortable with each other, and I think the more they work together, they'll get that.
Follow-up question. Is it a communication issue partially in terms of who's making the calls or how the calls are understood? I don't know if it's Colin or Nate or both. Is it a communication thing partially?
No, not so much communication. Honestly, it's more, again, it's more seeing those things, experience, and the speed of that game. There's one thing to show it in practice. It's another thing once you're in that game, and again, that D-line was extremely quick. Just seeing it, because a lot of those looks we saw in practice, but the speed's a little bit different. And I thought, again, I thought we struggled with their athleticism, which again, that's a couple of their guys were as good as I've seen at the DN position.
What was the biggest thing you kind of accomplished over the bye week? I mean, you mentioned a little bit the running game and the line and everything. What did you guys focus on during the week off?
A number of things. Biggest thing is making sure we stick with our fundamentals. And again, this isn't all on the line, trust me. There's a number of different positions. Sometimes you think of the run game, and obviously the first thing that comes to your mind is the O-line. That's backs hitting the hole. That's tight ends blocking. Doing a good job blocking in the run game. So as a whole, just staying on our tracks, understanding where our eyes are in different schemes. Sometimes, you start moving around a lot, you get your eyes out of whack. And I think, what are you seeing? Where are you supposed to stay on track? So different stuff like that, just getting back to base fundamentals of the scheme. All right, this is where your eyes are at on this scheme, and this is where you're going. Doesn't matter what they're doing, stay on track. So. And again, base fundamentals. Every week you're trying to get, especially on an off week, a lot of times during the season as it goes, with practice time, you get away from some of your base core fundamentals. And I think, slowing things down, getting back to talking through schemes, I think it's important, especially on those off weeks. And then, what can we do better on our self-scout? How are we, where are we predictable? And changing up some different looks.